In our day-to-day life, we can have that helpful inner voice that loves to tell us that we're not good enough. And let's do an EFT tapping to turn down the volume on that and relieve a little stress around that helpful little inner voice. And taking full responsibility for our own well-being and repeating after me. And let's go with that flow and let's begin to tap. Even though I have this helpful inner voice that loves to tell me that I'm not good enough, or that anything that I try and achieve, or anything that I try to do, I'm simply not good enough. And I deeply, completely love, honor, and accept myself. Even though this helpful inner voice, this nice little critic, wants to tell me that in my life, that I'm not good enough. And there's a voice that plays on repeat sometimes. And I'd like to press stop on that. And I deeply and completely love, honor, and accept myself. Even though the volume on this voice makes it hard to focus on other things. Like reversing back into a car park, it helps to turn the volume down for some reason. But I'd like to let go of some stress that is getting in my way of knowing that I am good enough and that I can navigate my life. And I deeply and completely love, honor, and accept myself. I am good enough. I really am good enough. There is a part of my mind that is voicing the opposite opinion and saying that I'm not good enough, that I'm not of worth, and that I'm worthless. And that's really helpful to hear, especially from myself, because I want to be a champion of myself, not a detractor. And I have this helpful inner critic that no matter what I do, likes to narrate the experience with a very negative voice, and likes to tell me everything that I do and everything that I try to do is simply not good enough, that I'm a stuff up, that I really shouldn't be doing this. There's more professional people than me. Why am I even trying? Giving up is my only option, at least according to this voice. And it really doesn't feel good to hear this voice. And it really gets loud the more scared I get. The more fear there is in an opportunity, the more this voice likes to tell me I'm not good enough. Good enough to take that opportunity. The opportunity that I want in my life. And this voice is standing in my way. And when I look to this voice, and I ask this voice, why? Why are you saying this to me? Is this really helping the situation? Is having someone that's booing me really cheering me on? And this voice might be scared itself. And it might be saying, Don't try, because then we put ourselves in harm. And I don't want to be put in harm. So it's better to keep myself in my place. And I might have learnt this along the way from people around me, either growing up or people that I had wanted in my life. This is very scary for me, so therefore I shouldn't do it. In relation to others' fears, I should stay in my place, because they know what's best for me. And that might be some fear that they're externalizing onto me. And this can come from a loving place or a place where they don't want me to leave. So it's better I know my place in order to keep safe or in order to keep them safe. And I really should know my worth is my own value. And the many experiences that I have in life add to that and subtract to that. And I only know those experiences by experiencing them. I can read all the self-help, but until I help myself, it remains someone else's experiences on page of how I'm reading to be good enough. And I know in myself that I am good enough. That things are scary. And I've done many things in my past that are scary. And terribly scary in relation to others. They probably would never do what I do, even though what I do may seem completely normal. Well, at least to me. And do they know me? Or do I know me my best? And I do know myself that I am good enough. There is good enoughness within myself. I am filled to the brim with goodness. I just have some fear in my way. Some stress. And I love to tell these inner critics, thank you for the review of my life. From an observational standpoint. But I know myself within. And I know that I've been through experiences. And I'm still here. And there's enough of me here, still wanting to bring good into my life. And I may stumble along my way. But I find my stride. And where I'm going to in my life is the direction that I want to walk in. And those around me are welcome to come along the way. And I can help them with their fears by being an example to myself of how I didn't think I was good enough, but I stumbled along the way and found that I was good enough. That I said to these voices within myself, thanks for keeping me safe, but I can find more loving ways to speak to myself. And I love that part of myself That was trying to keep me safe. And others may say many things about me. But similar to pointing the finger, there's three fingers pointing back. And some of these are projections of their limitations. And I don't put shame on that. I know better of myself. And I know that I'm good enough. I have goodness within myself. And these things that I want in my life obviously bring goodness within. And I'm seeking out these experiences that are good enough for me. And that's pretty good enough. So enough said to these voices. I'm dialing down the volume and turning up the volume of the goodness within myself. Knowing of my achievements, be them big or small, make me feel good. And I think that's good enough. And the direction that I go in my life is good enough for me. In mind, body, and spirit. And taking a full breath in and out. And go about your journey and be it good enough for you. And know that many people can say many things, but the things that we say to ourselves are the most important things. So say them with love and kindness and challenge those parts of ourselves and give compassion towards them because they were trying to keep us safe. But I think we can keep ourselves safe. So I'm Dion from Evolution Support Services, and I'll catch you in the next one. Bye for now.